Lorraine Crutcher here today, and I've got my wonderful friend Adriene Barberina here with Grit and Grace Beauty Bar down in downtown Weatherford. They are actually located on York Street.
York Avenue.
I love it. So tell us a little bit about how long you've been there.
So we actually just took over the old Giggle Snaps location. We've been there. We've been in possession of the location since August. Did about a month and a half of renovations and updating. So we've been full blast for about a month and 2 weeks. Before that, I was at a different location, but this is the real deal, and I'd love to come see you guys. Or you come see me.
Yes.
Yes.
And we're so excited to have y'all in Weatherford.
Yes.
Because it's wonderful to see our downtown area growing, and you are so fabulous that I had to have you here today because as we know, the holidays are going to look a lot different this year due to social distancing and all of the different factors that have gone into 2020. And so what we wanted to do is actually come together to build our version at the DOS of a charcuterie chalet. While we appreciate charcuterie chalets, our speed is more of a charcuterie cabin, and that's what we're here to do. And we're actually in the historic double log cabin that was relocated to the DOS from Hollins Lake Park. Amazing. And so I invited Adriene. We're gonna put together this amazing cabin for you, and I promise this will be a memory-making project for the whole family. Y'all just hang in with us. We are going to get this thing started. So the first step of building our charcuterie cabin, and I know you'll appreciate this, is we have actually sourced a plain wooden gift box because we are going to be using this to fill with some neat goodies.
Amazing.
Yes, and you know that the best thing about a charcuterie box is a sweet treat at the end.
Oh my
so we're
goodness,
actually going to fill this full of these chocolates, and there's no rhyme or reason to how you do this because they're all individually wrapped. These are actually little chocolate Christmas ornaments that we picked up, and so we're just gonna really throw these in willy-nilly style, and then the pièce de résistance is Santa himself. Because
welcome guest.
Yes, we love you, Santa. We are so good this year. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna we'll just make sure we get Santa in there. We'll stick the lid on that box. What I've done is I've gone ahead and prepared a very, very simple cardboard roof. And all I did is hot glue a roof together that I knew that would fit on top of this box. And what we're gonna do is set it right on top. It's been covered in parchment paper. And because we love our little box, Adriene, I'm gonna get you to help me. And what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take enough parchment to cover the box. And this is just so all of our charcuterie cabin elements are going to stay put and not necessarily be all over the inside of or the outside of that gift box.
Perfect.
We want to make sure that the goodies stay in and the outside goodies stay out. So we're just going to kind of wrap this up like a little present. And it does not have to be perfect because remember, the best thing about this is it is going to be covered with cheeses and meats and fabulous things, just like your charcuterie board would have. And so that's fabulous. We are actually going to put our lid on. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take some cream cheese, and I'll scoot this stuff out of the way so y'all can get a good shot of this. We're gonna take some softened cream cheese. Perfect. And what we're doing is we're actually creating our own chinking and daubing.
How creative.
Yes, and I know there's people out there going, chinking and daubing, that is such a museum term for you to use. And what that is we were actually showing, this is a perfect example of the chinking and daubing. In these old pioneer cabins, they had to use what they had. Can run to Home Depot.
Yeah.
So you used mud, grass, all sorts of different elements to add into your chinking so that you could have insulation. So this is our version of fabulous insulation.
We just learned a new word.
I know. All the things. We have wrinkles on our brain. And you know what? This is another great reason that this is a wonderful project for the family, because I know you've got kiddos.
Yes.
How much would they get out of doing a project like this?
I mean, well, you know, we had a great opportunity a couple of months ago when everybody was at home. We could have been building these amazing cabins in our home and doing pioneer lessons the whole time. So thank you, because now if for some reason
Absolutely.
we have to go backwards, I know what we're doing.
Absolutely, and these are all things, the thing that I love about this the most is these are all things that we already have in our pantry. And so what I'm gonna do is actually take my softened cream cheese, because we like flavor.
Oh yes, we do.
We love some extra flavor. We're gonna use
Spice on life.
Yes, girl, and we love everything but the bagel on all the things. Like you could catch me in a trap with this stuff. I'd be like, I'm in, shut the door. I'm gonna stay here with my cream cheese and my everything bagel seasoning. And so what we're gonna do is we're actually going to mix this up, and I promise it's softened. It just takes me a minute. I told somebody earlier I was gonna look like Arnold Schwarzenegger when I got done doing all of my cream cheese, because you really have some appreciation for Pioneer women, because we get so used to our electric mixers, all of our electric.
Spoiled.
Oh, yes. Our great grandmothers would laugh at us like, girlfriend, you got a wimpy stirring arm. So what we're gonna do is actually treat this just like a piping bag.
Okay.
And so I'll have you hold that, and then we're gonna take our cream cheese mixture. We're gonna put it in the piping bag, and the other great thing about this is you don't need any special tools. You don't need anything special. This is all stuff that your kiddos know where to get it in the house.
Or use your hands.
Exactly. Well, and it's all about getting dirty.
That's right.
Memories are made. Like we were kids growing up, and we played in the mud, we played in the dirt.
Sure
and
did.
that's definitely something that kiddos, I think, need the opportunity to do that with their parents. And so we've got that gorgeous cream cheese set up. And what we'll do is we are going to, I've gone ahead and pre-made a few of these. So what I'm gonna do, Adriene, is we're gonna go ahead and, if you will, grab one of my pretzel rods over there. And the thought process here is that we are going to, and don't you love it how they never stay put?
I know.
You know, you can do all the prep in the world, but this is real life. So if that happens to you at your house, be like, hey kids, the dog gets to participate as well.
That's right.
And
Full family affair.
Yes, and actually y'all, I'm gonna start on this side and we're gonna turn it around so you can see. The first layer here is going to be, and you know what, we can knock him out of the way for now. We're gonna do a pretzel rod and some chinking, and I'll turn this around so y'all can see. But basically, I piped, she's gonna lay down the pretzel rods, and what we're looking to do is actually get ourselves set up just like our log cabin looks. We're gonna do cheese, pretzels, cheese, just like chinking, logs, chinking. And so we're gonna get this started, and in the meantime, we are going to hear from our fantastic sponsors who make moments like this possible. Hey y'all, we're back and we have completed the majority of our cabin.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful that my friend has come here today to help me, because this is definitely a memory making opportunity. This is a project that, as you can tell, you get dirty, you laugh a lot. I think we've laughed more during this process than we probably have on most Fridays in 2020.
Yes.
And so we are actually finishing. Adriene is my lumber lady today, and she is helping me with my wood pretzel rods. And as you can see, our cabin is very well insulated with the most delicious stuff. So we're actually gonna put these pretzel rods, and as you can tell, we've layered them around. And so I'm gonna do a little bit more cream cheese on this side. Just make sure you've got a great layer down. And then we are going to place that pretzel rod, and we are nearing the top and nearing completion on our cabin. Do we need a little bit more? And you know what, y'all, don't be afraid to use this as glue. So as you're gonna see, we're gonna kind of lay some of that cream cheese down, and then we're gonna go in with the pretzel rod. And yeah, see right there, You need a little bit more. Sometimes if you are needing some height between pretzel rods, this stuff is incredible. And you can use what we've used today. You can also use anything that you have available in your pantry. So if you've got any other type of softened cheese, or you want to come up with your own chinking made with pantry items, you can totally do that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do one thick layer of cheese around the top. Don't be scared, because this is going to be our glue that is going to hold our roof on. And like I told you, this is an opportunity to get dirty and make memories. And I know you said your kiddos are possibly going to be doing virtual learning again.
It just depends, you know. We think we know things, and then life happens, and then we have to adjust accordingly and just conquer that world.
Absolutely.
You know?
And this is one of those great opportunities, because if you want to do a chalet, you can totally do a charcuterie chalet.
Yes.
And also explain to your kids that when we were growing up, these were called Lunchables.
Yes.
And now we're fancy, and they call them charcuterie boards. And so now we've got our glue on the top, and so I am going to clean my hands off while we finish that, and then we're going to go ahead and layer our roof on top, and that's where that parchment paper wrapped roof comes in. And so we're going to set that down, and now is where one of the fun parts start. And we have our mostly completed cabin, and from here what we're going to do is we've actually got some cheese spread.
Wonderful.
And so we're going to take this cheese spread, and we are going to use this on the inside of our roof. And that's so we can use some of our really neat items that we've got over there to decorate the roof with. Yes, get some of that glue. And we are going to use this tasty cheese spread. I believe this one is like a white cheddar. And what we're going to do is we're going to smear this in. Again, it does not have to be perfect. So this is a perfect project for kids, because it is not something that has to be perfect to the T. You don't have to worry about them messing it up. This is all about having fun.
Mistakes are forgiven.
Amen. Yes, any mistakes can be forgiven on this, because guess what? You're going to cover it up.
Yes.
With all these goodies. What we've got is we've got dried fruits, we've got little pretzel sticks, and we've got a lot of amazing goodies. We're also going to take this same glue, cheese glue, and we are going to go ahead and cover our roof with it as well. So as y'all can see, we've gone ahead and we've put down the glue for our roof, because since we're gonna eat it, we aren't gonna do any square nails in our cabin. We've done a fantastic layer. We were both talking about how there is no rhyme or reason to this. Anybody can do it. It makes it sticky. And what we're going to be doing now is we are going to be using salami.
Yes.
Salami and sliced cheeses, because in the traditional cabins in this area, we always had cedar shingle roofs is what we saw traditionally. Later on, they had like tin roofs, maybe metal roofs, sometimes corrugated metal. But in this case, traditionally in this area, cedar was plentiful. So they would actually stagger cedar shingles to make it a watertight roof. Yes. And what we're going to use today is salami shingles.
How
and
yummy.
So what I've done is I've purchased just some regular thin deli salami, and what we're going to do is start from the bottom. Yes. Because we need to layer and basically cover up any of our little moments that might show that we're not absolutely perfect in our architecture. And we're gonna fold those little salamis over, and the great thing about this cheese is it is going to stick perfectly. And once we have a layer of salami down, we're gonna go with our cheese. And y'all can use whatever the family eats. So this is one of those, you know what, let's do them long ways.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is part of the fun. If you get to a point where you go, oh man, one of those isn't gonna work, you break one down and you really do use what you have. So this is a great opportunity also after some of the holiday get-togethers to go ahead and use some of those little charcuterie charcuterie board elements that you may have in the refrigerator for a fun moment. Okay, we have created an absolutely fabulous roof.
Delicious roof.
I know. I've never seen shingles that look as good as these do.
I know.
As you can tell, since we are doing something that is supposed to please the entire family,
yes,
we have done salami on one side, Vanna White, and then we have done prosciutto and cheese on the other side. So literally there should be no one in your family who does not get excited about this. This is going to be fantastic. And where we are now in the process is, as you can see, our eaves are looking a little bit plain, and we are not plain. And so we've got a fantastic setup over here of different nuts, dried fruits. We've got some apricots, we've got mission figs, we've got a cranberry almond walnut mix. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna get creative with these. We're gonna each grab just whatever we prefer. And what you can do is, with like these lovely jeweled apricots, you can go ahead and set up, I don't know if you can see, Adriene, but I'm doing like a little jeweled, well, and that is part of the process as well. When you have an apricot fall down, you pick him up. And so we're just gonna do, I'm thinking like little Christmas lights, like a neat little jeweled edge, and then we can go through and really get creative, putting in some nuts, anything that's gonna be delicious to snack on with this cheese spread. So we're gonna go ahead and make it fabulous. I'll turn this around, and you know what? You do your side and I'll do mine, and I am very excited to see what we come up with.
Man,
this is one of those moments to let your creativity shine. So we are going to get this situation going. Remember, that cheese is like glue. So don't ever feel like you can't make something work. I've still got some reserve cream cheese chinking and daubing available.
That's right.
And we've also got some of that other cheese spread available, but the biggest thing about this is having fun. And hold on to your base while you're doing this. I know you can see us kind of stabilizing it as we go.
Well, putting that box in the middle has really given us such a beautiful foundational structure. We've been rough on this thing, and it is still standing. That's amazing.
And we were also saying that's a great opportunity if you don't want to let your family know what surprises you put in that box. It's a great moment for some sort of a little keepsake, or maybe a little stocking stuffer, a little dessert. Really, the options are endless. So we are just going through. We are making this look fabulous. I feel like I need some. Let's see what we've got over here. Maybe some figs.
Hey, you stay on your side.
Yes, it might get competitive in your house, and that's perfectly fine as long as no one decides to Indian leg wrestle over the cabin. You want to be able to stay fully healthy and functional for when you eat this. You don't want anyone laid up on the couch because they fought over how fabulous their cabin was going to be.
That's right.
So as you can tell, my side has a little bit more of the apricots. It's meant to look like a little bit of Christmas with the lights. We've got some nuts, we've got some mission figs, and it's all about having fun, making your own fruit and nut mosaic.
That's right.
My fabulous friend had the same thought process.
I mean, that is really...
I love it. Hey, birds of a feather flock together. And she's done the same thing. And she's actually added one of our next little favorite things for decorating. And will you hand me that thick cut salami? These are perfect little windows. And as you can see, she's already placed one that is fabulous. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of our cream cheese glue, and we are going to go ahead and do one on either side of where our doorway would go.
Perfect. This is the attic window.
Yes.
You know, because I'm sure attics were a huge thing in pioneer days.
Well, and you start thinking about the fact that they didn't have electricity.
Oh, yeah.
So a little loft window, sometimes like that, would bring in that natural daytime light, allow mom to have the light she needed to make biscuits.
Right.
And cook dinner and do all the things that we would not be able to survive doing without electricity.
My 7-Up biscuits would not have done well back then without sour cream and 7-Up. 3 ingredient biscuits.
It's so crazy when you start thinking about the things that we feel like we can't live without. Like,
know.
what did pioneers do without ranch dressing?
Sweet tea, dark pepper.
Granted, I'm sure ignorance is bliss, and when you don't have those things available on a regular basis, you do get excited about dried fruits. You get super excited about nuts and berries and things like that during a season where you normally didn't have those.
Absolutely.
You know what? Let's do a little cracker door. I'm really feeling that.
Awesome.
And so we're gonna add some of this. Do you think we need a back door too?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so do that as the back door. Hand me one more. We're gonna do this. You know what? We're gonna make yours the front of the house because I'm obsessed with the attic window. So we're gonna press that on and we're gonna turn this around. And I'm actually gonna turn from this way because I've added a couple of little windows on the side. We've got our door that is so cute. We're gonna do one more cracker for a back door. And we're gonna do a couple more. I'm gonna give you some salamis, and we can do those on either side of our door. Okay. So now that we've finished the majority of our decorating, we put our windows on, we put our doors on. Now what's left is really decorating the outside as far as all of the little elements that go around. So what I'll do is kind of clear our goodies off out of the way. And we're gonna scoot the cabin over, and we're gonna use this opportunity right now to make one of these adorable little rosemary planters. Are these not the cutest?
I love that. I'm so using this.
These are precious and they're easy. So what we're gonna do is I'll have you hold this, Adriene.
Okay.
And all you need to do is cut little woody stems of rosemary. And you can utilize any woody stemmed herb you have. If you've got thyme, if you've got oregano, all of those things should work perfectly. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna stick those down.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, how easy is that? And this is one of those things here, I'll hand you that.
Okay.
And this is one of those different things that it does not have to be perfect, because the more wild and free it is, the more natural it looks.
Everyone's gonna remember that too.
Yes,
you know?
well, and rosemary is also a memory herb.
It is.
So when you smell rosemary and you are doing something like this with your family, every time you smell rosemary growing up, you're gonna be brought back to this moment, and you're going to be brought back to the beautiful just memories that it brings you, because I guarantee this will be something that your kids and your family remember for a long, long time.
This is a showstopper.
Yes.
Already, and we're not even done.
Yes, and so what we're gonna do is we're actually going to take a few more of our elements. We're gonna decorate a little bit more. As you can see, will you grab those little bucks for me?
I sure will.
What I did is I went through, because we actually have deer that come visit our cabins, and we have these little miniature ornament deer. Are these not the most adorable thing?
Oh dear, how adorable.
It is, thank you. I love my punny people because I thought these were precious. Now, of course, these aren't edible. So be sure that Grandpa or the children don't pick them up thinking it's a marzipan deer, because it is not. And so these are just a little thing that we can add around. We're gonna finish decorating these things all around the cabin, and we'll be right back to you with a finished product. All right, so as you can see, we have put the finishing touches on our charcuterie cabin, and we're adding a little bit of dirt. And by dirt, we mean our most favorite seasoning. The everything but the bagel seasoning. And we're just adding that to create a little bit more of a rustic feel.
Texture.
Yes, and no one ever gets upset over a little bite of everything seasoning with their cheese and meats. And so our final thing, I will have you hand me the microplane and the cheddar, or pardon me, Parmesan cheese. You can use a dry cheddar if you have any other type of cheese that you prefer. You can use an Asiago.
Yes.
You can use Parm, and I'll show you. I dreamt about this. So what you're gonna do, is you're gonna do a cheesy parm moment. And of course, you figure out what angle is just right.
And the angels were singing.
Yes.
Aww.
And this is one of those other beautiful moments where even if Grandpa has been sitting in his recliner all day and maybe hasn't been a huge fan of this.
Cargo wagon needs some
Yes.
snow.
Oh my gosh. And look at this wagon moment. We actually created with 2 logs of cream cheese a glorious hay wagon, but we're not hauling hay today.
No.
We're hauling dried fruits, beautiful nuts. We've even got, please tell us about your glorious creation.
Oh my goodness. Well,
I love it. Pun totally intended.
absolutely. So they had to have water resources. Right here we have our grain sidewall, well, topped with cracker. For the roof, we have our deer getting the replenishment that he needs and staying hydrated.
With a fig little pond.
Yes,
Figgy
fig
pond.
Figgy pond.
And we've even got the adorable little, there, I trust you. You got the other side, girl.
I want
We've
some
got
great
this
time.
adorable little olive bucket that we added, along with an olive garden where we're hoping that our
Olive
deer don't eat everything. Oh gosh. Olive garden, but this one is better. Because this one makes memories at home, and that's what this season is all about. So, as you can see, you're going to show up at the dining room table with this glorious creation that the whole family's put together.
Because you know everyone's coming over hungry. And then everything
Absolutely.
else, it takes time to warm everything up at the same time.
And this is a make ahead.
Yes.
Honestly, if you've got a space in your refrigerator, make this a day ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in the refrigerator. If anything falls loose while it's there, it's no big deal. You use your cheese, you use some preserve spreads, whatever you've got on hand.
Yes.
Put it back together. There is no way that this is not going to be adorable on your holiday table.
Absolutely.
And this is one of those fabulous things. If y'all do one at home, please share it with us and make sure you post it to Facebook and tag the DOS or send it to us via our email on the website, and we would love to see what you're able to do. Thank y'all so much, and I cannot thank you enough for coming to help. And this is going to be the highlight of your holiday. I know it will.
Have a snack-tastic time.
Ooh, fabulous.